This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6, and it reads the Holy Scriptures. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but then it's not yet. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Wakarkadash. Shalom to the elders who are preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. Shalom to the Akim, scattered four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. I say shalom to the Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson that I want to bring out. And this is from online news editor as of June 24th, 2023. And this is a 2-minute read ago. And this is from LAPRNSALATNA.com. First time ever, second or third time ever been on this website and released this news article. And it reads, North Korea vows overwhelmingly offense against U.S. military. And it says that North Korea on Saturday criticized the recent visit of Secretary of State Anthony Blinken to China.
You say you want a dollar pop?
Yeah.
You got me a switcher?
Yeah.
You say you got like 285?
284.
No, you got no big. I'll take 50% of them.
That's
Surprised we got that fan in the window.
yeah, I'm about to very soon. Yep. It says from Seoul, South Korea. It says as of June 24th, the EFE. It says North Korea on Saturday criticized recent visit of U.S. Secretary Anthony Blinken to China, accusing him of attempting to rally support from China to pressure Pyongyang entering surrender, which that's not going to happen. But continuing on, it says the reclusive nation issued a storm warning stating that any military escalation by the United States on the Korean Peninsula will be met with a more forceful and aggressive response. The statement from the foreign minister claimed that Blinken, during his recent visit to China, made threatening remarks suggesting that the U.S. will take military action. A foreign minister statement says Blinken, during his recent visit to China, made threatening remarks that the U.S. will take military measures. By taking such rubberous Blinken betrayed himself that he styled himself an experienced and intelligent man in the U.S. diplomat camp. It's no more than a low-class diplomat, says Kwam Jong-gun, Director General of the Department of the U.S. Affairs of the North Korean Foreign Minister. We seriously warn that the scale and slope of the North Korean counteraction measures will be extended more overwhelmingly and offensively in the case of escalations of the U.S. military actions and provocation in the Korean Peninsula, right, due to the recent military exercise drills that took place within the last couple of weeks from South Korea and the United States. And North Korea look at that as a potential invasion and a potential of escalations between the nations. It says in the regional spotting, Kwam said in the statement published by the state-run Korean Central News Agency. Kwam also claimed that Blinken urged China to exert pressure on Pyongyang. I don't think China going to listen to the United States because the United States already have escalation tensions between Beijing and Washington, and United States versus China as well too. It says, I just want to add a note to that. But continuing on with the reading, it says Guam also claimed that Blinken urged China to exert pressure on Pyongyang to resume these stalled peace talks with South Korea and the U.S. During Blinken's trip last week, which marked the first visit by a U.S. Secretary of State in 5 years. Washington and Beijing agreed to improve their relations despite the growing rivalry. It says Blinken requested that Beijing use its influence over North Korea as China is the main trading partner of the exclusive nations to prevent Kim Jong-un's regime from developing weapons and mass destruction. It says unless the U.S. stops the act of violating our sovereignty and threatening us in disregard of our rights and interests, take a clear action measure to lift his heinous hostile policy towards North Korea. There will be neither restraint nor adjust in the latter exercise of its rights to self-defiance, said Guam. Peace talks between North Korea, South Korea, and the U.S. remain stalled since the failed annual summit in 2019 between Kim Jong-un and former President Donald Trump. It says North Korea reject calls to resume dialogue after South Korea and the United States resume a large-scale joint military exercise and deployed U.S. strategic assets to the Korean Peninsula, the EFE. Go back to Matthew 24 and 6. And this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but then is not yet. Right, as we see once again, North Korea vows overwhelmingly offensive against U.S. military. So with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying. I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Wakar Kadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered to the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And until next time, I will say shalom.